All right, right now we are joined by Jose Torres, who's going to be finally making his debut in pro MMA for Titan FC here in March. As they like to call you, Shorty, Mr. Shorty Torres. How you doing here this evening?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
Man, no complaints at all. Now for you, you're finally going to make this pro debut here at Titan FC. It's been delayed a little bit here. So, first off and foremost, is there any nerves about turning pro after having such an extensive amateur background like you've had?
So the two reasons why I said amateur for so long was, one, when I joined Combat Demomaster Bob Shermer, immediately he goes, if you want to fight MMA with me, the rule is you have to at least have 20 fights. I don't care if you're 0-20 or 20-0. I just want you to have the experience, and just in case you go in there, you're ready, or at least a little more prepared. And two, I ended up getting a full ride to NCAA Division II McKendree University for wrestling. So it was either, should I take the scholarship and get my degree just in case I get hurt, or I'm just not that good at the sport, or should I just go fight? Well, I was like, I'm going to pick the safe route, and I ended up getting my education first. And I just graduated in May, and I'm ready to get my pro debut going along.
Well, actually, that's quite stunning and very impressive that someone actually chose, instead of going for the fast cash and going pro like we see, with a lot of our athletes in football and in basketball, you decided to actually stick around, get your degree, and actually plan for the future, because that's something a lot of guys your age don't even remotely think of. They see the big money or the fast cash and go for that first.
Yeah, and it's definitely, in MMA, it's a whole different aspect compared to like basketball, football, all these guys getting drafted out of high school, or, halfway through their college careers. They're making, thousands to millions of dollars compared to MMA. Your first local fight is 400 or 200. It depends on, your popularity, and depends on what card you're fighting on. I got very lucky to get signed to Titan FC, a very big-time promotion for my first fight. I got signed to a contract. I'm not just, one and done and then looking for another fight. I got signed to a contract. Definitely not getting local pay money, and I got very lucky with, after winning the second world title, I got inducted into the KHK MMA team with Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and it's just been, a great time. So I'm definitely happy I waited 26 fights and 2 world championships to finally go pro. I definitely have a lot of experience over a lot of professionals too, so I'm definitely very excited to finally hit my fight.
Well, absolutely. And like I said here, Titan FC 37, you're going to get that opportunity. And it's going to be against Jorge Dominguez, who's also going to be making his pro debut. Now, granted, this is not going to be so much of a new territory for you so much because as having the amateur fights you've had, you don't always have a lot of tape to study and went off of. And with him also making his pro debut, this is going to be the same thing. So is this going to be a lot easier for you to, transition into this fight just knowing I don't know much about him? He may know a little bit more about me, but is it easier for you to kind of prepare for a fight, not having to, quote-unquote, focus so much on what that person can do and just planning on your own game?
Yeah, I'm glad Titan's definitely, I wouldn't say completely playing the safe card with me, but they're getting me proper fights. They're not going, okay, you've had 26 amateur fights, so we're going to get you a guy that's 5 or 6-0 as a professional. There's definitely a different game between amateur and professional, no matter if it's just a little experience, a bit more, a lot of experience. So I'm definitely happy to be fighting Jorge Dominguez on March 4th. And it's going to be a good show. I know, he's only 9-4. Statistically wise, they do have the good advantage with experience and just all overall competition, but when I did Worlds twice, it's pretty much 4 or 5 opponents that you've never heard of. They're all national champions out of their country. So you don't know all different styles. This year mainly it was UK wanted to do boxing and jiu-jitsu on his back. Belgium was all wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Northern Ireland was all stand-up Conor McGregor karate style. And then my last one, Kazakhstan, was judo and boxing. So it was definitely all different looks, and it was just only so many hours to prepare for it. And there's really not much besides either scouting them or just, hey, let's see how it goes. So I'm just happy to be going against Jorge Dominguez, and it's going to be a good show. I'm very, very excited for it.
Now, has it messed you up any regards to your training that, initially you were set to make your debut at Titan FC 36, that fell through the way it did here in December. Now it's now pushed to March. Did that throw you off any regards to your training and then having to get mentally back up and rev back up for making this pro debut here at Titan FC 37?
Well, it definitely didn't throw me off guard, but it was, there was two things that came to my mind. One was like, hey, I don't have to lose weight. Yeah. And two was like, oh man, it sucks because, again, I've been amateur for 5 years now, and, given people can say what they want to say, but I've had 26 fights, whether they've been, sandbagging or whatever people want to say, I was just ready to get my pro debut. Mainly, the IMF has decorated me as the most decorated amateur fighter in the world. That's awesome just to hear. I'm very happy about that because I'm the only two-time world champion. To get these all these opportunities with KHK MMA, I was definitely excited to represent not just myself, but so many people that are helping me on December 18th. But sadly, the event got canceled, and for me, I fought amateur again, 26 fights. I'm used to fighting for no money. The only thing for me was, I was in San Diego. I spent a little money on my training camp, but I was able to just get a great time at 10th Planet, the Freak Bros, and Liz Carmouche and San Diego Combat Academy, and Team Hurricane Awesome, all those guys out there. It was a great time. So I learned a lot, and I'm definitely happy, even if I didn't fight, that I had a great experience out there, and I'm just more prepared for my next fight.
And you were able to actually, like you said, not have to worry about cutting weight, and you could actually eat well and not have to wait till Christmas time. You could actually eat the week before Christmas. So it ended up being, for a couple of fighters I know that were part of that card, it ended up being a weird blessing in disguise for them in that realm. Now as you've said, you're finally going to make this pro debut. What kind of drew you or you and Titan to kind of agree for you guys to both be a part of this and you make that debut with them opposed to maybe fighting in a regional organization or a smaller promotion? What made you decide that Titan would be the best fit for me right now at this point in my career?
Oh, it's funny because I did this like that was a very like on the spot opportunity. When I went to Bahrain to sign with KHK MMA with Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Khalifa, there's Khabib, Nurmagomedov there, Frankie Edgar, Islam Makhachev, Alex Soto, and so many other, UFC veterans there signing for KHK MMA, so it was a great opportunity for me. I'm there, and Lex McMahon, which is the COO of Titan, works really closely with Alex Soto. So they were there, Alex was having his fight for Titan FC 35 against Ricky Simon, and Alex didn't have any training partners at the day that I was there, and Lex comes up to me and he's like, hey, you and Alex are the same weight. Lex doesn't know me. He doesn't know any of my background besides just I'm an amateur fighter. He goes, can you spar Alex a few rounds? Just go in there and just try your best. And, he'll do the rest. Just be safe, keep your head down, and just keep on going. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. I went in there and I did really well against Alex Soto. And he ended up being my training partner for what was supposed to be my first fight. So it ended up being really well for me. But he goes, oh, what was your name again? Shorty. Okay. What was your, so we started talking. We said the hotel, so we just kept on talking. I didn't know what type of power he had. I didn't know what a COO was. I just thought, he did some paperwork for Titan FC. That was pretty much it. So I wasn't like, hey, can you give me a contract? And I was telling him about, I want to do local fights, or I'm looking for a manager, or whatever the case is. Oh, dude, you don't need a manager. What about do you want to fight for Titan FC? I was like, yeah. Is it just like one fight going in there? He's like, I'll give you a contract. We'll take care of you. You'll get your proper fights, move you up nice and slow, and maybe by the end of your contract, you need to move up to the UFC or get your title fight. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. If everything goes great, that's amazing. So immediately right then and there, I was like, all right, cool, shook hands about it. And, a few days later, he sent me an email with a 4-fight contract, and, that was that. So I was definitely excited to be side by side with Alex Soto. He's pretty much my mentor in my pro career for KHK MMA. It's also an opportunity to just hopefully fight side by side with him one day, and two, just finally get a pro debut and not do a local event, which is huge for MMA because it's most people, and I don't know what George Dominguez's contract is, but I don't know if it's 1 fight or 4, but I'm very lucky to get a 4-fight contract, and not too many people get that opportunity, mainly for their first pro fight. So I'm definitely very happy I got so much experience behind my belt.
Well, yeah, I mean that's amazing that that you just happen to be at the right place in the right time to get afforded that opportunity to run intellects like that. So I mean that's crazy. You typically don't hear fighters getting these kind of opportunities like that. So definitely that's cool. I've never actually heard of somebody just bumping into like, hey, you want to come want to come spar with a guy and have no idea who you are.
Yeah, well, the thing was, Alex Soto's the leader of KHNA. He's the captain, and he definitely runs the practice and stuff. But I knew Alex Soto. I saw him. I saw his peace fights in the UFC. I haven't seen him in years because eventually he got cut and was just taking a break. He had kids and was just moving with his life. And he was finally making his comeback, and I was like, "Oh, that's great! Oh, I get to follow Alex Soto on his phone." Yeah, I'm a very optimistic person. So even if I believe a person's better than me, I love the opportunity to spar with them. Like I sparred with Khabib. I don't know how many times that guy weighed like 180, 190. And he doesn't. I don't know if it's just a Dagestani thing, but they don't take it lightly on anyone. They're not nice. When it comes to sparring, if you get knocked out, that's your fault. So it's definitely an opportunity for me just to learn, and I get to have a lot of fun with it. Follow Alex Soto the day besides learning, I got a contract out of it.
Cool. Now, as a young fighter, who did you, as you were coming up, and granted you're wrestling in college as well, but who did you grow up idolizing or saying, if I ever got the opportunity, I want to mimic this guy's style, or I respect what this guy does, I want to add that to my game. As one of these young, you guys are now the next generation of MMA fighters. Who did you grow up looking up to and saying, I want to be like this guy, I want to emulate this guy's style?
Well, I never got to see him, fight per se right in front of me. I got to see film and stuff like this, but my coach is Master Bob Sherman. He was able to beat one of the Gracie brothers. He beat Carlton Gracie back in the day, and one of the only Americans to do it. And Master Bob was 40 years old, and his last fight was when he was 50. He used to coach Shorty Carter, Terry Martin, a bunch of other guys like that. So he's an older gentleman that sadly by the time he was too old to fight, the UFC really started picking up. But him and I clicked so well as coaching a fighter, and his fighting style let's see what happens. We're not going out there with a set game plan. We're going with whatever he wants to do. Let's go with the flow and just beat him at his own game, or we take what we get. And it's an amazing style that I really, really appreciate, and it definitely helped me at work compared to let's say I'm a wrestler and I face a really good stand-up fighter. If I can't take them down, then I'm really screwed. So it's definitely a great opportunity to be working with him side by side. One of my idols that I grew up I met him when I was 16, and just keep on going just to be like him and pretty much live the life that he never got to have as I guess in a sense, a professional MMA fighter, as a, hopefully a UFC representative and hopefully a world champion in the UFC one day. Master Bob and I definitely collect them. We're just going to keep on going together. We're like, Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao, Mike Tyson and his coach. We're just going to keep on going with that way. And he was my idol. I know my two little kid idols growing up. The only reason I started martial arts were Goku and the White Ranger. So for me, they were always, again, like I said, I take challenges, and I'm very optimistic. That's the whole Goku style. And for me, I've always wanted to stand up for people, and that was the White Ranger. I've always stood for light and good. So for me, fighting was the only way I knew growing up to be a hero. The standing up for what was right. So those were one of the reasons why I started fighting. That's about Sherman, just kind of idolized that in the picture for me.
Oh man, you're quoting the Power Rangers. You're making me feel old, but I'm not. But wow, love it.
Well, tell you about Power Rangers. This is how I used to be sponsored by the White Ranger later, early in my years, and it was awesome. I met him at like a Comic-Con event. Told him I was a fighter. He's like, "Oh, we'll give you a pair of shorts, just whatever." I appreciate you being a fan, and I just kept on fighting and winning, and they kept on giving me more stuff. So later in my life, I got to meet my idol and actually get sponsored by him, which was awesome. Tommy Oliver, J. Davis Frank. It was huge for me. So I was definitely very, very happy, and I've, filled up my career very well, and I just hope it keeps on going that way.
Well, absolutely. That's cool. Now, make sure that you let the people know where they can follow you and your love of the Power Rangers. That is through social media. Let them know what your Twitter, Instagram, and all that good stuff is.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate everyone supporting me. Definitely follow me on Facebook. My fan page is Jose Shorty Torres MMA, or ask me any questions on my actual page. Friend me, Jose Shorty Torres. Instagram, same thing, Jose Shorty Torres, and Twitter, Shorty Torres 125. And again, I appreciate everyone's support and sharing and liking all my links. I just thank everyone. Obviously, I wouldn't be as far as I want, you guys. I appreciate the motivation. Just keep pushing me forward, guys. Thank you.
And let the thank the sponsors who are helping you get prepared here for the fight now here on March 4th.
Oh, well, definitely for my sponsors. I'd have to look at my banner just to see how many sponsors I have, because there are 12, 13, but my sponsors definitely know who they are, and I just want to say thank you for everyone that's been working with me. The guy that's been, the two people that have been really, really working with me right now, one is Cage KMA, and it's not a sponsor, it's definitely my new team, but it's just a huge opportunity just to get paid to train and, get the best possible opportunity to be a world champion one day, not as an amateur like I was, but now as a professional. Cage KMA and Shake Holland have been great to me. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I hope I don't let you guys down March 4th. It definitely is not any of my fans down, but I'm definitely going to try my best. And for sure, nutrition right now, again, I haven't been cutting weight. I'm already almost 8 pounds overweight. I've lost 12 pounds in about a month now. It's just awesome working with nutrition. He worked with Johnny Hendricks in this fight, and Johnny Hendricks looks phenomenal. So I'm definitely very, very happy. And, just thank you guys for everything. I just, my family, my friends, everyone knows who they are. I'm definitely not going to take up too much time, but thank you, everyone, for supporting me. And, please tune in March 4th for Plain FC and Plain FC 37 on UFC Fight Pass, or watch live in Richmond, Washington.
Well, absolutely. Well, Jose Shorty Torres, we appreciate you taking out time with us here on Punch to the Face. Best of luck here on the fight here. Like you said, March 4th, Titan FC 37, live on UFC Fight Pass. If you don't have Fight Pass, you're an idiot. They give you free fights all the time for a short... the amount of money you pay for Fight Passes, you're going to blow that on Taco Bell. Like, it's literally... Like, you can buy Fight Pass. You know how many fights you can watch? Oh, my God. So, yeah, definitely we want the fans to check you out on Fight Pass here March 4th, Titan FC 37. It'll be live as you make your pro debut against Jorge Dominguez, who'll be making his pro debut as well. So, again, Jose Shorty Torres, we appreciate you taking up the time.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, tell those people it's a UFC Fight Pass and show. It's not Netflix and show. If she doesn't want to show for that, then she's not worth it, bro.
She's not. You got to replace her, because there's plenty of girls out there who are more than welcome to Fight Pass and chill. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
Thanks, man.
All right, man. You take it easy.
You too. Thank you.